Good afternoon, Jack Capital, Saj Cap here. We're looking at Euro GBP. Time is 12:39. Date is the 7th of April 2021. Some market analysis on Euro GBP. We're looking at D1 first. It's a downtrend on D1. However, the price and the origin is challenging the home to do a crossover up, which could indicate a temporary uptrend. It's not confirmed yet. Candle close above home has happened. Current candle, there's a detachment. Possibly the price we could be looking at retracing down to where the origin is, or at least halfway between the opening of the candle and and halfway through to the origin. On D1. On H4, it's broken up and locked up of all the MAs. It's done last week's high. It's broken up of the 1.0 on H4. So if we just draw that, then it will be easier to see right here. So if you look at H4, it's locked down, come down, fulfilled, broke. Didn't fail to break the 1.0 line here. And so it's gone back up. Origin crossover home took place, went back up, and the MAs broke the MAs. There's no bounce on the MAs on H4. At the moment, the current price has done the 1.0 line, hasn't left a candle close from the previous candle. This particular current candle could potentially leave a candle close, but it doesn't confirm anything to go up any further. If we take it to 2.0 and see what 2.0 is telling us and place it there, just 2.0 on its own. So if you follow it through from the 2.0 day, break, lock, fulfill the following day, which is today, left a candle close down, next candle close up, home cross origin up took place earlier on in the week. Fulfill the next available 2.0 line, broke up, locked up, fulfill that line. Today we are at the point of the origin deciding whether to break up of the 2.0 line or whether this candle may create an extend turn to come back down. If we combine both 1.0 and 2.0 on H4, we can see if there's anything pending. At the moment, there's a strong line here. You've got the 1.0 and 2.0 line that's in the way of the origin breaking up and locking up. So for the origin to break up and lock up and for the price to go up further, there's two strong resistance lines that could potentially stop it from going any further. So let's take that to H1 and see what H1 is telling us. H1, on the face of it, looks like a clear uptrend. It's been trending since yesterday. There's no home touch today on H1. Something to note down, because potentially the price will be coming down to do the home touch. If we look at the overall picture, so if I just enlarge an H1 chart and we look at the pattern that it's been doing over the past couple of weeks, it's been ranging quite a lot, because it's been going through the MAs every couple of days, every 3-4 days, and then when it does, it's ranging for about 3-4 days before it breaks out again. So it's been ranging here, it's been ranging down here, and then it broke up and locked up and yesterday, and it did a big move yesterday, almost just over 1,000 pip move yesterday. Today so far we've got about approximately a 440 pip move today. If I apply the 1.0 to see whether there's any more pending gaps left up, we can see whether the immediate direction is up or down. At the moment, there is a 1.0 gap up to 0.86428, which is approximately about another 388 pips away from the current price. That's still quite a big move for an FX pair, in my opinion. That's a good move. Unlikely for it to happen unless there is a fundamental announcement that shoots the price up. If we quarter that box, the quarter is done. There's no candle close, so I've placed it roughly around here. There there is no candle close above, so that could potentially indicate the price coming back down. If we move that to and make that into a 2.0 here and here, using 2.0, there is no gaps up, just left candle close on this white candle here. Potential destination here once the origin breaks and locks up here. If we combine both 1.0 and 2.0 together, let's change the color quickly. So combine all both of them together, again, nothing broken, nothing locked. There's the candle close, but that's not a confirmation, but more of a signal that potentially the move can take place further up once the origin breaks and locks up. Unless there's fundamental news again, then it might push it up and then come back down to its original starting point again. At the moment, I'd hold back on taking any more buys. Right, notice I said I'll hold back on taking any buys. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to start jumping onto sells. We need to analyze more further into the smaller time frames to identify whether there is potential sell moves to take place. But for the time being, I'd hold back from the buy. So let's go back to all the time frames together again. So if we go to M30, like I said on a previous video, the smaller time frames I use for more execution purposes than direction. Execution based on the direction I've identified on the bigger time frames. So on M30 at the moment, it's uptrend based on the fact that it's above the black and olive, and home cross origin is up. However, based on the home cross origin and the candles and the MAs, those two MAs together, it's got a very rangy move. It's broken down, locked down, and there's a potential gap down to come to the olive on M30. Going on M15, very similar story, and it's got a very rangy move because it's done the bounce off the olive. It's done the bounce of the olive, left a candle closed, so that there's a potential signal for it to come down to the black. The fact that it's left multiple home cross origins up and down on the time frame can potentially indicate that we could be coming down to the black on M15. On M5, we've got a similar scenario. Again, low rangy behavior, but I think the price is so close to the right now, it could potentially lock down of the MAs. I think once M5 clears the way and locks down, then that could be a decision point to start taking sells. And how much do you take it for? It could be your 50 pips, your 100 pips, or 150 pips. But I personally don't like going beyond 50 pips per trade on FX. It's just better to be safe than sorry. Okay, so that's the market analysis on EURGBP. Thank you and trade safe.